Just like any other day, I was working on my website for this class when I felt my website is missing something. I thought about it for a little bit and realized I don't have a mascot for this website. I start off by doodling a fun little red panda and just start exploring some themes and ideas that I might want to include. I do this traditionally so I can get a better idea of what I want and how I can translate this to digital. Now that we have a design that we're pretty happy with, I take a picture and I import it into our program. I then start using the symmetrical tool to make sure that I have a base that I'm happy with and that is symmetrical. I then start by doing a front, back, and side profile sketch. And now it's time for line art. I use the symmetrical tool once again to make sure that everything is even and go over the details and start clarifying stuff. Some of the details that were in my sketch will not make it to the final cut. For the side profile, I use a little cheat sheet where I copy and paste the leg from the back profile and the tail. That way I know that it is the same length and even on the reference sheet. And now it's time for my favorite part, the coloring. I start by alpha locking the color in after I already put all the color down, which basically means that the color cannot escape where it already is. So when I erase all of the stuff outside of the lines, that leaves the color already inside the lines, meaning I can go over the color and the coloring will not leave. With the logo in the traditional sketch, I already had a good idea of what I wanted to do for this design. So using the colors from the logo and using the design that I already sketched, I was able to get the details that I wanted. I started adding some of the blue splotches that I wanted for my sketch, and then I realized I didn't like having the blue on the same layer because I already liked the coloring. So I took it all away and then I did a new layer and added the coloring right back. So that way, if I didn't like it, I could just turn off the layer and it would go away. I then repeat the same process that I did for the front view for the back view and just clean up the edges and clean up the design a little bit more for the actual back view, since the back view is going to be different from the front view. For the side view, you notice that the screen goes black except for some spots. That's because I already had these on a different layer and needed them to go on the same layer for this design. The black view is because I turned off the background so I could see where the color was and where I could go to erase it. Now it's time to make this actually look like a reference sheet. I add all of the layers back in, and then I make sure that they all line up together. I add the colors in so you can see what colors were used for this, and then I start adding in all of the details and information that I need to include in this reference sheet. Now that this reference sheet is done, I can use this for any future commissions I may get of them. Thank you so much for watching.